welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a historical mystery that has puzzled scholars, theologians, and history buffs for centuries. We all know Moses as the great biblical leader who led the Israelites out of Egypt and received the Ten Commandments. But what if we told you there's a hidden story, one that centers around Moses' son, a figure almost entirely erased from mainstream history? What happened to him, and why was his legacy buried? Prepare to uncover secrets that have been kept in the shadows for thousands of years. Stay tuned until the end, because what we're about to reveal will change how you view history forever. In this comprehensive exploration, we will uncover the hidden legacy of Moses' sons, delving into the Bible's intriguing clues about their roles, and examining why they never rose to prominence. Their story holds surprising lessons about God's purpose, timing, and the power of serving faithfully behind the scenes. If you've ever felt like you're in the background, unseen or uncelebrated, this deep dive into Gershom and Eliezer's story is for you. We'll reveal why their lives matter and how their hidden legacy still impacts us today. The early years, Gershom and Eliezer. The story of Moses' sons begins during his time in Midian, a crucial period when Moses was in exile from Egypt. After fleeing Egypt for killing an Egyptian taskmaster, Moses found refuge in Midian, where he met and married Zipporah, the daughter of Jethro, a priest of Midian, Exodus 2:15-22. During this time, Moses and Zipporah had two sons, Gershom and Eliezer. The Bible introduces us to Gershom in Exodus 2:22. Zipporah gave birth to a son, and Moses named him Gershom, saying, "I have become a foreigner in a foreign land." The name Gershom comes from the Hebrew root word ger, meaning sojourner or foreigner. This name reflects Moses' deep sense of displacement and alienation during his time in Midian. For Moses, who had grown up in the Egyptian palace as the adopted son of Pharaoh's daughter, this was a stark contrast. From royalty, he became a fugitive shepherd in a foreign land. Gershom's name encapsulates this profound emotional and spiritual journey. The birth of Moses' second son, Eliezer, is mentioned later in Exodus 18:3-4. One son was named Gershom, for Moses said, "I have become a foreigner in a foreign land." And the other was named Eliezer, for he said, "My father's God was my helper, he saved me from the sword of Pharaoh." Eliezer's name, meaning "God is my help," memorializes God's protection over Moses when he fled Egypt. It serves as a powerful testimony to God's deliverance, emphasizing his faithfulness even in challenging times. Roles in Moses' mission. Unlike other prominent biblical families, such as the descendants of Aaron, the sons of Moses did not inherit leadership roles or play significant parts in the major events of the Exodus. When God called Moses from the burning bush, Exodus 3, Gershom and Eliezer were still young. Moses, feeling unworthy of the monumental task, brought his family, including his sons, on his initial journey back to Egypt, Exodus 4:20. So Moses took his wife and sons, put them on a donkey, and started back to Egypt. And he took the staff of God in his hand. This verse indicates that Moses' family was part of the early stages of his mission. One pivotal moment involving Moses' family occurs in Exodus 4:24-26. At a lodging place on the way, the Lord met Moses and was about to kill him. But Zipporah took a flint knife, cut off her son's foreskin, and touched Moses' feet with it. "Surely you are a bridegroom of blood to me," she said. So the Lord let him alone. This dramatic event emphasizes the importance of the covenant of circumcision, established by God with Abraham, Genesis 17. Zipporah's swift action to circumcise their son not only saved Moses, but also realigned the family with God's commands. This incident highlights the critical role of Moses' family in supporting his divine mission, even in ways that are not always visible or recognized. Why did Gershom and Eliezer fade into the background? Despite their involvement in the early stages of Moses' journey, Gershom and Eliezer's roles remain obscure in the biblical narrative. Several factors may explain their relative obscurity. Focus on Aaron's lineage. God appointed Aaron and his descendants as priests, a role of great responsibility and visibility. Exodus 28. Aaron's sons, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, were deeply involved in Israelite worship. This focus on Aaron's family may have limited the visibility of Moses' sons to prevent confusion about spiritual leadership. Moses' unique role. Moses' role as prophet, leader, and mediator was unparalleled. His calling did not automatically extend to his sons, Deuteronomy 34:10-12. This distinction highlights that Moses' leadership was unique and not meant to be inherited. Possible return to Midian. Some traditions suggest that Gershom and Eliezer may have returned to Midian with Zipporah during the Exodus journey. Exodus 18:1-6 describes Jethro bringing Zipporah and the sons to reunite with Moses at Mount Sinai, suggesting they were not consistently present during the dramatic events of the Exodus. Legacy in the tribe of Levi. Although Gershom and Eliezer's roles are not prominently featured, their descendants continued to serve within the tribe of Levi. 1 Chronicles 23:14-17 provides a genealogy showing their lineage. Gershom's descendants, led by Shebuel, and Eliezer's descendants, through Rehabiah, were integrated into the broader Levitical duties, assisting in the care of the tabernacle and later the temple. Their service reflects the broader distinction between Aaron's line, designated as priests, and the rest of the Levites, who performed supportive roles, Numbers 3:5-9. While not celebrated, their contributions were vital to the spiritual life and worship of Israel. Lessons from Gershom and Eliezer. The story of Gershom and Eliezer teaches us profound lessons. Faithfulness behind the scenes. Not everyone is called to be in the spotlight. Gershom and Eliezer's story reminds us that God's purposes often unfold in ways that transcend human recognition. Their lives highlight the importance of serving faithfully, even in obscurity. God's timing and purpose. Ecclesiastes 3 reminds us, there is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. Gershom and Eliezer's lives were significant in their appointed time, even if their contributions were not prominently displayed. Enduring legacy. Although they were not in the spotlight, Gershom and Eliezer's descendants continued to serve God, illustrating the lasting impact of faithfulness. Psalm 100. Humility and obedience. Their story challenges us to prioritize obedience to God over the pursuit of recognition. Philippians 2:3-4 encourages us to value others above ourselves, embodying the humility seen in Gershom and Eliezer's lives. Where did the sons of Moses go, and why are they significant? While their story may seem hidden, it serves as a reminder that God's purposes are not always about being seen. Gershom and Eliezer's legacy speaks to God's faithfulness and the importance of living in obedience to His call. Their absence from the spotlight is not a mark of insignificance, but a testament to God's unique plan for each of us. Whether in the foreground or the background, every role in God's greater story matters. The story of Moses' son, and his curious absence from much of history, raises profound questions about how narratives are shaped and preserved. Was Gershom's relative obscurity a result of cultural, political, or theological motives, or is his story simply a casualty of history's selective memory? While we may never fully unravel the reasons for his erasure, exploring this mystery reminds us of the power of historical narratives and the voices that can be lost within them. By examining these hidden threads, we not only gain new insights into biblical history, but also challenge ourselves to think critically about the stories we inherit, whether intentional or incidental. Gershom's near erasure teaches us that even the most extraordinary figures, like Moses, are surrounded by untold tales waiting to be uncovered. The truth may be elusive, but the search for answers ensures these forgotten voices are never truly silenced. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Bible's hidden stories, please like, subscribe, and share. Let's continue to uncover the treasures of God's Word together. God bless, and see you next time.